this was a few years ago. I, weirdly enough, came across an amputee in one of my hospitality jobs, who I had seen around, but he was never wearing a prosthesis. It's kind of a little story, and that'll answer the question. And obviously this person was out in the world and living their life, but they were living their life on crutches, and he didn't realize that I was an amputee, and someone had told him. So he eventually came in and had a little chat with me. And he'd had an experience where he was sent to a prosthetist that was not fantastic, and the fit was off, and it was really painful, and it was just more comfortable to not wear it. And he was like, well, maybe this is just the life that I'm going to live, without having gone to see a different prosthetist, or, you know, talk to amputee forums about the, you know, the discouragement and you know, the pain of the struggle that he was experiencing. And I was so happy that he came across my path. And I sent him to my prosthetist, Eric, at a step ahead, who I believe that he's now a happy client and walking around. I saw him a few months later, and he was walking on his prosthesis like a changed man, just with like confidence. It was this beautiful thing to see. So I would say to a person who is, I mean, probably the people that have given up are in a very, very dark place, but here are these resources. This is my experience. I'm sure you've had a really, really rough go of it. But there are other options. And I also use myself as an example. Like, look at me. I mean, look at you. We're doing all this stuff that a lot of people that are able-bodied don't. There's so many things you can accomplish if you have the self-motivation, you have the positive mindset. And we aren't always there. I mean, I definitely get dark sometimes as well. And I get frustrated, especially when I'm in pain, but there are resources out there. And yeah, like, look at all of these amazing, inspiring, abled people. And don't look at it as this negative thing, like, oh, I could never do that. I can't do that. Look at it as something to aspire to, or to motivate you, rather than a what's the word I'm looking for? Rather than looking at it as this discouraging, I can never achieve that sort of thing. And I feel that even the able-bodied community is that way. I mean, it's looking at, magazine covers are kind of outdated at this point, but like, oh, I could never look like her. I could never do that thing, or whatever it is. It's like, sure you can. I mean, that's a much larger issue, and there's airbrushing and all that sort of stuff. But oh, that person looks really great. I wonder how they did that, or what I can do. And it's like trying to put a positive spin on it, which is so much easier said than done. But yeah, it's, I don't know, like, never give up. Sometimes you want to give up, and sometimes you do for a few minutes, but finding that inner strength and that inner motivation to be like, hey, we can do this. It's one step at a time.